Okay, welcome back. Now in this video we're going to talk about plotting points. So we're going to start talking about polar curves. So now that we know how to plot points, we're going to look at functions that are using polar coordinates. Okay, so functions of theta that we're going to be dealing with. Okay, so when we have this sort of thing, we are going to use, just like when we have functions of y of functions of x, right? We're used to having f of x, right? Y equal to f of x. Well, now we're going to have r as a function of theta. Okay? So in this case, theta is going to be the independent variable, and r is going to be the dependent variable. So, and this is basically the same sort of thing that we would have in the Cartesian plane. So we're going to generate points based on different values of theta, which is going to then give us corresponding values of r, and then we plot those on the polar coordinate system. Okay, so the general idea of plotting points in the with polar coordinates is the same idea as what we used in plotting points on the rectangular coordinate system, okay, or the Cartesian plane. Okay, so we're going to start with a list of values of the independent variable, theta, and then we're going to calculate corresponding values of r, the dependent variable. And then once we have those, we're going to connect them with a line, a curve. Okay, and then we're going to notice or take notice or pay attention to any kind of patterns that may arrive. Okay, see, is there a periodic pattern? If there is, then we can use that to our advantage and restrict or limit the number of values of the independent variable that we need to calculate. Okay, and so that brings us to these steps. So this is where the steps come from. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate a table with two columns. Create a table with two columns. The first column is going to be for theta, the independent variable, and then the second one is going to be for all values of r, corresponding values of the radius. Okay? Then what we're going to do is create a list of the values of theta. We're going to choose the values of theta that we're going to use. Okay? It could be from 0 to 2 pi, right? It could be 1 revolution. Right? Just to see what happens. And then we're going to calculate the corresponding values of r. Then we plot each of the points based on the ordered pairs r comma theta. But again, notice that in this case, theta, remember, is the independent variable. So it's last. Remember, in xy, in the rectangular plane, we plot x comma y, where x is the independent variable. So in this case, theta is the independent variable. Okay? And then once we do that, we connect the points, and then we look for any kind of pattern that can help us plot it more quickly. Okay? And that's it. So those are the steps we're going to use going forward in the next examples, and you'll see how it works. See you soon.